Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Nick and we are going to be jumping down into the world of Polkadot, taking a look at how much Polkadot you might need in your portfolio if you want your investments in Polkadot to turn into $1 million. As I get into today's video, if you do find it useful and informative, smash that like button. I do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. If you haven't yet joined us in Discord, what are you waiting for? Check it out, linked in the description down below. It's a fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. It's completely free and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there, so why not go ahead and check it out. Let's jump right down into today's video, kicking things off by taking a look at the daily time frame here. So we need a couple of things for us to kind of figure out whether or not we have the right number of tokens in our portfolio for Polkadot to kind of achieve that $1 million return on investment that we're looking for, right? So we need a couple of things. We need to know where we're pricing, where we're buying it, and what is the average price that we're paying for Polkadot. Okay, we need that in order to know how much we're investing, and then of course we need to know what the future looks like for Polkadot, and what kind of future price expectations we have, so that we can plumb that in, so we know how many tokens we need. And so all in all, we can see here on the daily chart that we are looking pretty nice on this move to the downside for Polkadot. And, we've been in this accumulation zone for a little while, right? We saw this back in 2020. We saw us tap into here in December of 2022. We came back down again, breaking that existing low over in June 2023. We came down into new bear market lows in October of 2023, right? We started this little move to the upside with the rest of the crypto market, but we are still inside the accumulation range, which I'm going to kind of dub between $3.53 and $4.33. So I'm going to say that this is going to be your average purchase price range, and I think I'm just going to take an average purchase price as, let's say, $3.90, and that's going to be the price that we're kind of been able to kind of dollar cost average into our position. So if we were to buy up a significant portion, we're going to use the $3.90 as our average purchase price, right? And so we can see from a structure points of view, this is a W, X, Y, X, and Z pattern. I still think there's a potential to still come down a little bit deeper. I don't think we're done just yet. But for the most part, we're right in that sweet spot. You can potentially argue that maybe we can go down as low as $3 in the future. Nonetheless, our average price could potentially be around that $3.90. Okay, so that's kind of the first part that we need to know. How much are we paying for Polkadot? Okay, then the next thing we need to do is we need to figure out, okay, what does the future look like? Well, the future looks pretty bright. I think it could be better. We saw a really poor performance back in 2020, 2021. The ecosystem was just barely growing back then. And I do think that we are going to see a significant surge to the upside, a little bit better than we had seen previously for Polkadot here, right? So I think DOT is potentially going to overperform our expectations. But if it was to just kind of mirror everything that it has done previously, then we are going to be targeting out $97 to $212. I think on the higher side is possible here rather than on the lower side, and potentially it might even overdo that. And this is a very simple kind of move. It's just a three-wave pattern. There's nothing too much to this. It's quite simplistic. And I do think if we are to see a break upwards that is impulsive, we'll probably push up higher than $200, but that's going to give us a nice round number to kind of be targeting out for here on Polkadot. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll bring up the Excel spreadsheet, right? And so the Excel spreadsheet is going to basically allow us to put in a future price, and that's going to drive out the number of coins needed to basically hit our $1 million return on investment. Then, of course, our average price is going to tell us how much we have to invest in Polkadot in order to actually acquire the number of tokens that are going to drive that $1 million return on investment. And then, of course, we're going to have the profit, the tax bill that is associated with the profit that's generated. That's going to be a 20% capital gains tax that we have here in the UK. That may be different depending on your jurisdiction. And then that's going to drive out our net profit at the end. So let's start off with a $212 future price for Polkadot. Okay, that means in order to achieve a $1 million return on investment, we need 4,717 dots. Okay, so a pretty interesting kind of price appreciation there at $212. It means that actually I think Polkadot at an average price of $3.90 is an $18,396 investment. I don't think it's terrible. I think there's definitely potential here to kind of acquire at least the majority of that if you haven't done so already over the next few months or so. But again, it's an $18,000 investment. It is pretty hefty if you're a retail investor. But for the most part, I think many investors over the last kind of year to 18 months or so could have potentially acquired 4,717 DOT. Now, if you do this, then of course that's going to, and obviously, DOT hits $212, then that's going to drive out profit of $981,604. With a 20% tax, your tax bill would be $196,321, netting you down $785,283. Now, as I said earlier, right, I think it's possible that Polkadot does rally on up a little bit more than we have previously seen. Okay, and if this is the case, then I think we could be looking potentially a lot higher. Okay, 350, potentially even 700. If we were to hit 758, that becomes an impulsive pattern and the whole entire thing changes quite dramatically. Okay, and that would allow us to look at this simplistic three-wave pattern as something totally different. We'd have the idea of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 diagonal, and then you'd have to have this as an impulsive break to the upside as well. This is going to be really badly drawn. Let me try that again. And we'll do something to this effect. That will then allow us to look at this as a wave 1, a wave 2, up here is a wave 3, and come back for a wave 4 and have another run to the upside later. So when it comes to these things, I think that Polkadot's actually finding itself in a pretty interesting spot with some pretty significant potential to the upside. So, whether we think $350 to $700, we could, of course, adjust our future price here and say, okay, well, what does $350 look like? You'd need 2,857 DOT in order to kind of drive out that $1 million. That would going to cost you $11,000. And if you wanted to kind of think on the higher side of things, well, then you're talking about a $5,000 investment for 1,319 DOT. But of course, price would have to hit that 1.618 target. So we have the super conservative at $212 dollars, and in future price, that's going to basically mean you need 4,700 DOT. If you want to kind of be on the mid level, you talk about 350, you're going to need 2,800 DOT. And of course, if you want to be super bullish, you are talking about 1,300 DOT required to kind of drive out that $1 million return on investment. So hopefully, guys, you have found this useful and informative. If you have, smash that like button. I do appreciate that. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. If you haven't yet joined us in Discord, why not check it out? Linked in the description below. It's a fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. It's completely free, and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there. So why not go ahead and check it out? Until the next one, though, guys, have a fantastic day.